Let's talk to the head coach of your Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, always brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Good morning, Coach. How's your week been?
It's been good. It's been a fast week, actually. But, no, it's been good. How's your week?
We're good, Coach. What makes it a fast week?
Probably late nights.
Mm.
It seems like yeah. I don't know. It just seems like it's been a quick week.
So are you guys going to work around the victory parade today?
Yes. I mean, my understanding it's out at in Arlington, correct?
Yes,
yeah, it's out by the stadium.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're at the Star.
Yeah. So you're also going to let your guys off to go see the parade?
No,
it's just part of the fandom of being, swept up in the pageantry that is a World Series win.
Well, I think they'd understand if we weren't there.
We'll give you
I guarantee
that. But we do get done. We done early enough that maybe the guys can get out there and participate at the end.
Coach, we were just talking about right before you came on. Have you had to, when you were in Green Bay, did you have to do the overseas trip? And if you did, are coaches behind closed doors a fan of that? I know it's a part of the gig, but when I think about Kansas City, Miami fighting for home field and having to go to Germany and mess up your body clock and all that stuff, are you a fan of it?
Well, personally, no, we did not go, and behind closed doors, we didn't offer to. I'll just say it like that.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, in my time there, we did not go. But I think a lot of guys enjoy the experience. Is what I hear. But especially when you look at the amount of travel that we do as a football team, the travel component it's a big challenge. So, but yeah, I think the whole concept's outstanding. So I've heard positive things about playing over there.
Coach Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star, always brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Let's talk about your offensive line, Coach. No Tyron Smith practicing. Chuma was out on the practice field. What's your expectations for the starting lineup on Sunday?
Well, we're still working through that. Tyron's been doing all the walkthrough stuff, so he's going to do a little more today, and then we'll see practices tomorrow. Then that'll answer the question. But we're still working through that.
Coach, we talked so much. Well, we did media-wise. We talked so much about the kicker. What are they going to do? Kicker. And here you sit with the special teams player of the week in Brandon Aubrey. Talk about the job
he's
month,
done. Baby.
Yeah, the month. Excuse me.
Let's give him.
Yeah, the special teams player.
Does he get a special parking spot for that?
No.
No, he'll definitely gets recognized for it, and there'll be a game ball type celebration when our players are recognized at the league level like that. So now what a great start, and it's just been really, really cool to see him come here, especially with his story. But he's it's the same guy every day, obviously very talented. You can see that right away. First time you have a chance to watch Brandon kick, but God, his consistency has been incredible. So
can you my question about kicker before we move on, can you sign a kicker just by what's going on neck up, or do you have to see the leg move?
Oh, I think you have to do the whole evaluation. I think kickers and punters and quarterbacks are positions really that if you're not standing next to them,
right,
you truly don't have an evaluation. You got to hear that. You hear the ball come off the foot, the ball spin off the hand, and I mean that's and everybody does it. I mean, you can evaluate a video and it's done, but until you really stand next to them, I feel you really truly don't really know. You stand next to Brandon, first time he kicks a football, it's he obviously has tremendous leg strength.
Coach, before we talk about Philly, you've been talking about them all week. I feel like last week, third quarter, Rams score, they're down 16. And yet that third quarter drive, to me, kind of summed up what you've been trying to accomplish the entire year as far as complementary football, giving your defense rest. How do you bottle up that 17-snap, almost 10-minute drive and pretty much choking the Rams out? To me, it feels like that's what you want this team to be.
Well, that's one of the characteristics of complementary football. I mean, obviously we went in at halftime and they had to score right before the halftime, and then they respond, what we call a double-double. And, and that's an important momentum, point in game, and how you respond and, how you navigate the ebb and flow. I mean, that's all part of being engaged with it. So, the fact of the matter is, obviously we want to score as many points as possible, but, how many plays our defense on the field is something that, I pay a lot of attention to, because, those guys are, particularly when you shut the run down, then, we're a takeaway, just getting ready to happen. So it's just part of our approach to the game. So you got to play to that.
Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star. When you look at the Eagles, a couple of Jalen's jump out at you. When you talk about Jalen Hurts' knee, obviously he doesn't want to talk about it, and I haven't seen a whole lot about it. Is that something you even consider when you're game planning?
Oh no,
No.
It's just like anything. The guy plays, you got to, you're always game planning to his fullest abilities and how you think you're gonna attack with him. So yeah, no, if he lines up and plays, if he lines up, then we go get him. The medical report is over on Friday or Saturday, I think. So yeah, no, we don't look at that any differently.
What's the first thing you got to take away from him?
From Jalen?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's like any defense, when you line up, you try to make a team one-dimensional. Their offense still starts with the run. I mean, I know their pass numbers are up, but it still starts with running the football.
Coach, when you look at the corner, I feel like Dak and Ferguson turned last week. I know, when you go back with Dak with Witten, with the chemistry he had with Schultz, do you feel like Jake and Dak made some headway in their chemistry last Sunday?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, them throws and catches don't just show up on Sunday. Some of those guys have been working a lot together. You can see it. And we had some opportunities early in the season that we just didn't quite convert. But that attacking the middle of the field is important, and and our young guys are better, and Jake's probably the front of the line.
Mike McCarthy sitting with us here on San Antonio Sports Star for his regular. One of the things I've appreciated the way you've handled the Cowboys, coming in, is you understand the rivalries and going into it, and what goes into an Eagle game, which in my mind, they're probably, for most Cowboy fans, the most despised of our division foes. How much of that plays into your game planning? Are you showing them history, body bag games, Buddy Ryan, things like that, making them aware of these old-time Cowboy fans? We don't like the Eagles.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely have to make it part of it, because you have to educate 25% of your football team, because these rosters change between 20 25% each year. So it's important to make sure everybody is on the same page when we're walking in. I mean, I talk about the stadium, the weather, the grass or the turf. Like, those are all things I look at as vital signs to walking into the competitive arena. So you definitely got to get a little more to these division games because they carry so much history and tradition and energy.
I know you're big on the analytics, Coach, and y'all have privy to numbers that we don't. Do you feel like the running game is progressing in the right direction? I know y'all go week by week versus just a huge sample size. Do you feel like the run game is progressing where you would like it to go?
Yeah, it needs to. We definitely were, the last 3 weeks. I think it really started in week five, but yeah, the numbers have dropped off some, and it's just like anything is the continuity in the run blocking unit, and how we can complement that with the pass too. So hopefully we can. I'm talking more in the quarterback movement phase of it too. So yeah, but it's important, and obviously it's important to get Tony Paul his opportunities.
Mike McCarthy here. Real quickly with the offense and the running game, what did y'all average? A little over 4 yards a carry last week. Do you look at that number as something that's vital, the yards per carry, or is it just a more effective on down and distance kind of thing that you're chasing?
That's a starting point. It's just like anything. I mean, we all understand the overall numbers, but it's the numbers within the numbers, and have a very detailed evaluation process. It starts with the coaches right after the game. So and everything's put into an analytics platform. So the video is the most important. So the techniques and the fundamentals and the things that go on that 4.0 average is really where our focus is.
And does that include, do you like to include in the short, quick pass, the flat pass? Is that part of your running game?
No, I don't. No, you throw it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I got you.
But they both need to complement each other. No, I think you make a great point. They have to complement each other.
And I know another word you use quite a bit, Coach, is continuity. And again, Tyron's a walking yellow jacket. We all understand that. But just as far as continuity goes, has it ever crossed your mind that, even when he is healthy, to stick with the guys that you've been playing without him?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm just basically saying, have you ever considered, just even when he is healthy, maybe not starting him for continuity reasons?
Well, I don't think we have much continuity, with any line that we put out there. I mean, because it has been, in flux. But no, I mean, when Tyron's healthy, he's a starter, and he will start. I mean, that's my belief.
All right, Coach. Well, here we
Appreciate you,
said
Coach.
it is indeed the big weekend of the game. As you watch and prepare your season, and you plan for the stretch that you're headed toward in December, and you see what Philadelphia is about to go through, do you schedule your season to that kind of rhythm where you're going to have tougher schedule, tougher weeks, and all that like we always have in December, or is this just regular time you're on schedule? I didn't
Oh,
ask the
no.
question very appropriately, but are you
I
on
think I know.
time? You know what I'm getting at?
Are we on time?
You know what I mean? Are
No.
you on the schedule that you see appropriate for where you're going?
No, absolutely. I think that's why it's important to break the season up into quarters or trimesters.
There we go.
because
Right.
all that projection is done ahead of time. So, and what I've always done is I've always overscheduled. So I'm always looking to be higher on the workload for the players because I know, it's easier to cut back than to add. So, but the travel, all those things are part of these, decisions of how you train the team Wednesday through Saturday. So, yeah, but it's all projected. The season's laid out already. But the ability to adjust, especially in November, December, I think is very important.
The witchcraft of coaching. That is your head coach of the
Appreciate it,
Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. As always, Coach, we appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. We wish you good health, safe travels, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thank you, man. Have a great week.